I saw the salespeople come in for training that I had to train, right? And I saw them, and they were cool people, but they were no different than me.
But I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Everybody is self-made, but only the successful people want to admit it. Yeah. And you and I have that conversation all the time, because that's where Chris and I we hit a chord like almost instantly. Is like, and we ran actually for office together at one point. I'll say it because we're talking. I get shit done. Like, that's what I do. Like, that's the most things, or the most important thing to me. And what was the expression used with the plane?
You're building a plane while you're flying it.
Yeah, that's
right?
what Richie and I are hoping we don't crash into the mountain. But yes, that's what we do. We don't wait around to say, but all the meetings that we go to, and we go all over the place. I mean, we would have been like at least a half dozen different places in the past year doing what we do. And, you'll know right away when you go to a meeting and someone's like, and I use the same analogy all the time, like you're pitching an idea and they're like, well, what happens if a meteor hits? Like, I mean, if that's your attitude, you're going nowhere, man. Like, okay, thank you. We're going to, yeah, we haven't gotten this far. I mean, the golf school that I own, that my family founded, South Jersey Golf Schools, we're the oldest golf school. We've been in continuous operation for like 45, 50 years. Like, we just started with one golf camp in 1980, and now we are where we are. We've done programs and what we do, and that's because, it's constant progress. We constantly throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And right now, this podcast is growing well. So back to our featured guest here. So he started building up the ladder. So from histology, he went to.
So then I went to this biochemical sciences company, and they had novel equipment too that would kind of revolutionize the pathology labs and simplify things. So I ended up taking a position. I saw the salespeople come in for training that I had to train, right? And I saw them, and they were cool people, but they were no different than me. And they were making a lot of money, a lot more than I was making. And they had a lifestyle that I was drawn to. Like, they got to travel on the company's expenses, and they got to see places and meet people. And that just fits my personality, and I wanted that.
It does, yeah. Your personality, very, very.
It's just personable.
Yes, personable is the word I was looking for. Yes, people skills.
And I love people. I love all people, all races, colors. I could care less, because everybody's got some spice, and I like spice.
Well, I love people. I don't know if I love all people.
Yeah, I love all people.
There's a couple people I'm not the biggest fan of.
And the people who worry about meteors hitting the podcast, I'd rather just move forward. But it's okay,
But yeah, so I got to do that, and then progressed, right? I don't want to bore you guys with all the details, but let's just say I progressed into sales.
So then when you and I met, you were at Roche.
Yes.
Yeah, and like, I was just, so super impressed by, like, he was winning all these sales awards, and recruiters were seeking him out to for different positions. Like, the guy was in demand, and like, I just sat there and I loved it, because it's something that you and I actually talked about too. So when Richie decided he wanted to be a tour golfer, and I've done what I've done, like, we've all had the same epiphany, and you sit there and you listen to these people and you talk to people, and like, why is this person any better than me? Like, I've been doing this teaching thing now for I don't know, over 30 years, and people are like, hey, you're really good at this, and like, we could do our $64 half-hour lesson all day and make a decent living out of doing it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with people that want to do that, but like, I want my life to make a difference. You want your life to make a difference. You want life to make a difference. Like, what? You got one shot at this, folks. What I loved about Chris. I mean, Chris is Les Brown. He's Eric Thomas. I mean, you dropped out of high school, had nothing going for you, wandering the streets, getting in trouble. And look at you now. I mean,
You're on a podcast.
I'm on my first. This is my first podcast ever. Like, I'm actually.
And we feel bad about that. But that's okay.
No, I'm actually excited because let me just go back, right?
Yeah,
so, yes, I can look back though, and I'm a spiritual guy, right? And I can see God's hand at work in my life throughout all of this. I'd like to say and take credit for all of it. I did the work, right? And they say God will move the mountain, but you better bring the shovel, right? And so I brung the shovel.
less a bourbon hog. My bourbon hog. My bourbon hog.